Yo, 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 what's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy, Pastor Ron, and welcome to Game Day Gospel. Today is Knicks Tape Thursday, a day where I focus a lot on basketball, the NBA, and what's going on, mostly on my Knicks, and just to dabble about everything else NBA. Thank you for listening, thank you for supporting. I appreciate the followers, I appreciate the comments, I appreciate the shares. It means a lot. When you go out and pursue your passion and God puts something inside of you and a desire for you to do, to have friends and family and even strangers support, it means a lot. So thank you. Thank you for continuing to do this and supporting me. I appreciate it. So let's dive into the NBA. First, let's talk about our Knicks. We have to come to grips. Like one of the things I've been doing over the past few weeks, heading into 2024, is just accepting certain things. Is learning that certain things are just what they are and what it is, and just gotta accept it. And I've accepted the fact, and most Knicks fans must go along this journey with me, that the Knicks are a mediocre team. We are not a team that is full of talent. We're not a team that's gonna go far. We may get into the second round, but that is our limit. If we happen to miraculously, go past the second round, that's just a miracle and not expected. But watching the Knicks and watching them play and seeing highlights of the Knicks, it made me realize that they're not good. They are who I thought they were. They were an average team that is not going to go far as long as Julius Randle is one of the stars, one of the leaders, and one of the focal points of the offense. This guy can do no wrong in his coach's eyes. This guy, and I'm tired of hearing about, hey, he's a high energy guy or he doesn't miss a game. I don't give a darn. I need a guy like what we have to understand about the NBA. That teams who are being rewarded are teams that know how to play the game. That teams that are properly coached, and have the structure and the stars to help get them over the top. These are the basic factors. Tom Thibodeau is not a good coach. I don't care what he's done in the past with Chicago, which is nothing, or Minnesota, which is nothing. He got fired from both of those spots. And he's not a good coach. He's a culture guy. He's a high energy guy, high effort guy. But in terms of coaching and in-game management, he's not that guy. That's the difference between a good coach and a great coach, is how you make adjustments. That's the difference between your team winning and not losing, is making adjustments. Adjustments account for 8 points a game. 8 to 10 points a game. Just, hey, I'm going to exploit this. Hey, this is a smart play for us to run. Hey, this matchup is to our advantage, so we're going to sit here and exploit it. Tom Thibodeau does not do that. He sits there and runs the same plays over and over again. This is why when he gets into the playoffs, he comes across a good coach, a competent coach that can identify what he does, and he gets stopped. And the problem is with Tom Thibodeau, he has an inability to adjust. That when this stops, when going to Derrick Rose, every play stops. When going to Julius Randle, every play stops. Then he struggles. This guy's not a good coach. And we are a flawed team that is continued, that we are lucky to be where we're at. We're currently 10-7, 5th in the East. We're lucky to be there. We are worst in the league in 2-point percentage. Worst in the league in 2 points, which means layups, dunks, mid-range jump shots. We're worse. We shoot 48% from within the arc. Not 3-point percentage, 48%. Less than half of our shots from within the arc are not going in. And the only reason why we are not worse off than we are is because we lead the league in second chance points. The reason why we get the most second chance points is not because we're a great rebounding team. It's because we get the most opportunities at second chance points. If I'm constantly missing layups, more likely than not, I should be able to get back up and put a putback in. If I miss multiple layups, i.e. the spirit of Charles Smith. Remember the Charles Smith play, Knicks fans? If I keep doing that, I'm able to get more rebounds and pad my second chance point, my second chance opportunities point. So I'm afraid that we're in trouble because we sit here and we cannot. And a lot of what produces good 2-pointers, 3 points is just, practice, skill, pulling up. I'm in the gym, 1,000 shots a day. Give me a screen, 1,000 shots a day, and I make it, right? That is what it is. But a lot of what's causes the 2-point percentage to be better is coaching. It's running a proper play. It's running the right play, executing the play, having high IQ guys. How could we have low 2-point percentage when we have a guy like Jalen Brunson, who's pretty much money when it comes to everything within the arc? He gets a screen, he gets past guys, he has that teardrop. How are we at a place where we're sitting here, we can't shoot 2-pointers when a guy like this is on our team? It's because we're not properly coached. Not because we're next to last in pace. We run a slow offense, so we have to be good at 2-point percent because we have a half-court offense. We sit there and we constantly go through this, and we don't understand. And then we sit here and say, oh, Pastor Ron, you don't know what you're talking about because the Knicks are number 1 in opponent points per game at 105 points a game, right? But I just told you that we're number 2, the second worst team when it comes to pace. So because we slow the game down, our opponents get a lot fewer shots than they normally do. So of course our points per game allowed is going to be lower. Our points per game, peep this. Our points per game is the best in the NBA, 105 points a game. We're 26 out of 30 when it comes to points scored at 110 points. That's all a result of pace. So don't sit here and spew a bunch of stats as Tom Thibodeau is a great defender. He's not a great defensive guy. He just slows the game down. He's not. I don't understand how guys like Tom Thibodeau and who's the other guys? All these bum coaches get a chance. Frank Vogel, all these guys who are trash at coaching. I think Vogel has a championship, but these guys are constantly recycled. And my franchise is not smart enough to realize he's not good at what he does. I would not be surprised over the next by the end of the year, they will announce a Tom Thibodeau contract extension because he's doing such a great job in great direction. All these podcasters and pundits who are sitting here saying Knicks are close. Knicks are not close. Because we could get Devin Booker in tomorrow, but Tom Thibodeau will kill Devin Booker. So before we sit there and say Knicks are a player away, we got to change our coaching. We have to modernize our game. We gotta pick up the pace. We gotta shoot more threes. We gotta get more 3-point shooters. Tom Thibodeau has Fournier. He makes the fourth most amount on the team behind Randall, Brunson, and R.J. Barrett. Next is Fournier. I guess no burn. At the very least, you must be able to create a system where he's able to shoot, where he's able to score, and just park in the corner and shoot threes. One of the reasons why our 2-point percentage is so low because we have no threats outside of the arc. So they pack the paint because we have no shooters. Quentin Grimes, I will constantly talk about how trash this guy is. Quentin Grimes has scored 95 points this year. 95 points this year. In 15 games. You have freaking guys like Isaiah Hartenstein in 17 games scoring 93 points so far. So we sit here and not listen. I respect the Villanova boy, DiVincenzo, cool guy, great six man. But what happened to Josh Hart? His role is kind of reduced. What's going on with the team? Oh, now quickly he's playing well, so we forget about Josh Hart. DiVincenzo's a cool guy. We need shooting. We need shooters. This is why our offense is not flowing the way it's supposed to flow, because of lack of shooters. So as I watch this team, and we made it to the next round of the in-season tournament, but unfortunately we have the longest odds out of the 8 remaining teams to win. Partially because we played Milwaukee the first week, and secondly because we're trash. And folks realize how bad we really are. But we sit here and then we have to accept that we're not a star away. We're not a player away. The only, to me, Jalen Brunson, honestly, no one's untradeable. The only guy untradeable to me is RJ Barrett, because of his contract and his age, and what he brings. But I, and I'm glad he's rewarding me this year by having some faith in him by averaging 19, 4, and 3, and shooting 86% free throws. And that doesn't really show how well he's actually playing. He's battled migraines for a few games, and but outside that, he's playing well. He's playing really well. So the 12 games that he played. So I do want to shout him out in terms of what he's doing. But overall, the team has, for the right price, I'll trade Jalen Brunson. Heck yeah. If you told me that Jalen Brunson would have gotten me Dame Lillard, I would have traded Jalen Brunson. Would I trade him for Donovan Mitchell? I'm not a Donovan Mitchell fan. I don't like it. I don't like his game. I don't know. He needs the right guys around him. But Jalen Brunson. So let's be fair. The two guys who to me are untradeable, Jalen Brunson and RJ Barrett. Anyone else can get traded quickly. Mitchell Robinson. I would trade him right now. Mitchell Robinson. His value would not be any higher. I would trade him right now. I would trade him to someplace like LA, like the Lakers. So he could play alongside AD, who's the biggest waste man in the NBA, by the way. But yeah, I think he needs to we need to be honest with ourselves, New York, and realize that we don't have it. We're not close. Have you seen the Celtics play? We're nowhere near their level. Have you seen Milwaukee? Have you seen the Nuggets? We're nowhere near their level. So we're not that close. Can I be a bit controversial? Do you know who's closer than the Knicks right now to winning a championship? The Pacers. Because the Pacers got a bona fide star in Tyrese Halliburton. They got shooters in Buddy Hield. They got a center in Miles Turner. And don't forget my Haitian brethren, Mathurin. They have parts, bro. They're adjusting to the modern NBA. They're first in pace, first in points, 128 points a game. To my point, I just made it also to give up the most points. They give up more possessions at 125. But these guys, I could watch them more than I watch the Knicks. I'll tell you that right now. I got Miles Turner, Buddy Hield, who's a great shooter. I've wanted him on the Knicks for a while. Moment of silence. Obi Toppin. Man, hurt. Obi Toppin as well. They have a good team. Do you know who else is closer than the Knicks right now? Do you know who is technically the best defensive team in the NBA right now in the East and top 3 in the NBA? Number 1 in the Southeast Division, the Orlando Magic. Orlando freaking Magic. Told y'all, man. Pablo Banchero, bro. I got him on my fantasy teams playing well this year. They built the team the right way. They have young guys. They have wings. They have shooters. They have a clear direction. They have a clear decision as to what they're doing with this team. Franz Wagner, 22 years old. Wendell Carter, Jalen Suggs. They have a clear direction. Cole Anthony is balling as well. The only guy to ever do a dunk contest in Tim's. But they have direction. They have a star. I will never forget when they drafted Pablo Banchero. I was like, they're crazy. The hell the Jabari Smith was the hands down best player to me. It's like you're bugging out. But they drafted that guy, and that was the right pick. So you trust their system. They got long players, who have the ability to play defense. They're number 3, I think, in defense this year. For a long time, they were the best defensive team in the NBA. Their defensive rating is 107, number 2 in the league. Like you know, they giving up the fifth least points a game. That team is closer than the Knicks. Sitting here, and they have the proper coach, the proper system, the proper culture. They're closer than the Knicks. So they a young coach. That's where the Pistons got it messed up. You can't, some of these coaches, bro, that don't want to be rigid and don't want to adjust. They're not the ones you want to. They can't coach these teams. You see Milwaukee, the homeboy had a championship. These old school guys like Budenholzer, they ain't winning no titles. You know who's winning titles? Guys like freaking Malone, that wear bling and from New York, that get how to. He's a tough guy, but he also gets how to communicate to these players. Guys like Tibbs, guys like these old school guys. Even though I mentioned this team as being a possible team, Indiana, like if you don't know how to communicate to these guys, because these guys are the product of AAU, of these college systems where they were guys and they had people on their teams, OTE. Like my son watches OTE. Both of my sons watch OTE, like it's the gospel. Like the other night I was putting my son to sleep and he said, "Dad, can I watch OTE to go to sleep?" He sat there and watched the game. They know all about the Thompson twins, know about my guy's name in Kentucky. I was just talking about him the other day. The recruit from Kentucky. No one's gonna kill me, but that guy, the top recruiter of Kentucky, all these guys, man. Talk about Cam Bruiser, Cooper Flagg, all these guys. Jared McCain, a guy that's currently in Duke. They know him well. This is the culture that's being. This is the basketball culture. It's a bad thing because, as we talked about last week, these guys don't have fundamentals. These guys are taught just take the ball. If you watch, do me a favor, one day, like just go to YouTube or TikTok, go to YouTube and put in OTE, like overtime. I don't know what the E stands for, and watch one of their games. It's the worst form of basketball you will ever see. It's just dunks and threes. Dunks and threes. So that's that. But that is what the game is. And we have to really adjust. So these guys like Jamal Mosley in Orlando, Adrian Griffin in Milwaukee, these guys have a way to communicate to the modern NBA player. Malone, as much as he may be tough and he curse a guy out, but at the end of the day, he has a more modern, more older team, but he also has, as you saw at the championship parade, he has a way to connect to his players. So I think that's important, man. That is important. That there's no Phil Jackson or Pat Riley walking through that door with championship rings they could throw on the table anymore. You got to find a way to be able to communicate to these players. You got to find a way to be able to get down to their level and get the most out of them, because you're going to sit here and be like Monty Williams. Decent coach, but on a 15-game losing streak. How does a team sit here? Let's forget Washington. Washington, we knew was going to be a dumpster fire once they traded for Jordan Poole. Who was a trash player, a bad culture guy. We knew it was going to blow up in their face. The fact that they thought they could build a team around Jordan Poole, they deserve what they get. The guy's showing signs of who he was. But you got a team that has Kate Cunningham, Isaiah Stewart, Asur Thompson, Killian Hayes, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, should have been a Knick, James Weissman, Joe Harris. You got guys like that. Decent guy. Oh, Bogdanovich. Decent guys, decent players with some talent. And you're going to tell me you win only 2 games all year. They're 2-16. They're not tanking. This is really what they're doing. They're 2-16. Fam. Nah, bruh. But you got Kate Cunningham, 21 points a game. Jaden Ivey, 12. Duren, 12. Alec Burks, 12. Isaiah Stewart, 12. Or Asur Thompson, that's Noah's boy, 11 points a game, 9 rebounds a game, 1.6 blocks a game. It's something about being able to connect to these guys and get the most out of them, and find coaches or staffs that creates a culture where you don't coddle these players, but you learn how to get the most out of them. This tough guy do suicide every day ain't gonna work. The only guy that could do that is someone like Spoelstra. But if you look at the Miami Heat culture, quote unquote, the Miami Heat culture is one that sits here and they have no rookies. It's all vets. It's all these undrafted guys, the 3-star recruits, because these are the guys who are able to get to a place in realizing and pulling the most out of these players. If I'm a 3-star recruit, I'm gonna do suicides. If I'm a 3-star recruit, I'm gonna sit here and listen to my coach. I can't rely on my talent when the play breaks down. I'm trying to get a good contract. So whatever the coach tells me to do, I'm gonna run the play the way it's supposed to run. I won't be like Julius Randle that sits there and by default ISOs and does not pass the ball properly. I can't do that. So coaches come in, try to impose their will, and these guys are like kick rocks, bro. And I think honestly one of the worst jobs to have in sports is a basketball coach. You're not even a middle manager. You're like a department supervisor that sits here. You are giving players a mandate to produce, and when you don't produce, no one fires the GM, no one fires the owner. They fire the coach. Yes, you get paid, but I'm telling you right now, Monty Williams regrets. Anytime that direct deposit hits, he's like, I will give away this job to coach someplace else. I will quit. I will give up this contract of $12 million a year just to be a place where I'm happy, because he's probably beating his head against the wall every single day in practice because these kids do what they want. No coach tell these guys what to do. They do what they want. And who's going to stop them? Because that was the way in high school. That's the way in OTE. That's the way in college. They were gods. And you're going to sit here and try to... What has Monty Williams won? They may listen to Spoelstra. They may listen to Popovich. What has Monty Williams won to tell me to run laps? Tell me I better do this. Kick rocks, bro. They don't fire players. Kate Cunningham's on his second coach. Dwayne Casey, coach of the year, got fired, bro. And they brought in somebody else. 2-15, bro. And it's watered down weak league. They've lost 15 straight. Bruh. So you sit there, man, and you talk about that and talk about all that stuff, man. It's a lot of it is a culture. It's a culture in the NBA, which is born in AAU, born in OTE. You find it in college. They just do what they want. Their guys get all the sneakers, get all the attention, NIL money. Look at Angel Reese, man. Rumors have it that she's starting to just lose focus on her game. Why? Because she got millions of dollars of NIL money. She got a Mercedes-Benz NIL. Fashion Nova NIL. So now she's like, why am I coming to practice? Why am I going to listen to the coach? I'm going to tell me to run this play. I'm good. I'm rich. And therefore, the effort is not there. The effort is not there. Just because you're rich don't mean you're doing a good thing. It's because you get a couple of dollars here and there. Just because someone's willing to give you $500K don't mean that you made it. Because the person that's willing to give you $500K is worth $500 million. So they'll gladly give you $500K so you can stay at a $500K level and not experience your maximum God-given potential. So yeah, man. I mean, we're in a crazy state. We're in a crazy state, and I want to also use this podcast to give flowers to somebody, man. It's one guy I guess I didn't like, but I never rated this guy and appreciated this guy. That's Steph Curry, bro. Steph Curry is on some next stuff. He's dropping this year 35-4. Like what he is doing, he is on some different type of stuff. Just watching him play, and honestly what hurts me is the fact that these guys their dynasty is done. I don't. How many years does Curry have? How many years does he really have left in his life before he says frick this? Especially with this, with the Warriors dynasty is done. They are done, and I think for a long time we've kind of like this downplayed what he's done because it seems so easy and he's laughing while he does it. But Steph Curry is up there. He's not in LeBron's category. I think LeBron's category currently is just 3 people. In that room, like I do tiers. There's 3 people in that tier. It's LeBron, MJ, Kareem. Those 3 guys are in a room by themselves. That's it. That's tier 1. Tier 2 is Magic, Larry Bird, and I do not rate players I haven't seen play. So I'm not going to talk about Wilt and Bill Russell because I can't comment on their competition because that means a lot. But I think he's in that next room with Magic and Larry. Those of y'all who currently want to talk about Jokic is not in that room yet. Jokic is overrated, guys. Let's talk about Jokic. Jokic cannot the same thing we say about Steph, we cannot say. Jokic has the ball a lot in his hand. Jokic has a lot of great qualities, but in terms of being a great player, I don't think he can do this in New York. I think if you swap him and Mitchell Robinson, he's not putting these numbers up. If you put Steph on the Knicks, Steph's dropping 25 points a game. He's that good. Jokic is not a transcending player. He takes a lot of chippies, Did you know that 68% of his shots, 68% of his field goal attempts are between 5 and 9 feet? 68%. The next person that they have is Jaren Jackson at 44%. 68% of his shots are between 5 and 9 feet. If you give me 68% of my shots between 5 and 9 feet, I'm dropping 20 in the league. Pastor Ron's dropping 20 in the league. Give me that. Give me 5 to 9 feet. Such easy shots. I'm dropping 20 in the league. So we do, give him credit for allowing it to happen and making it happen. But end of the day, nah. I don't think he and Steph Curry are on the same level. They're not in the same room. The game day gospel, we have tiers. That's how we're gonna have going forward. Tier 1 are 3 players: Kareem, Michael, and LeBron. I think LeBron's number 1 overall, but whatever you want, let's not argue today. Today's a peaceful day. I was thinking about putting Magic in that tier, but I don't know. I may change my mind, but right now it's just those 3. And then tier 2 is Magic, Larry, and I think we put Steph Curry. I think Steph Curry's in that tier. Then we have guys like Tim Duncan, Kobe. Those guys are in the next room, right? The next level. KD, is KD tier 3? I don't think so, guys. I don't see KD at tier 3. I don't. It's tough. It's just that we can't ignore all that, and we go through that. But yeah, he's not. Sorry. Yeah, I can't put KD, and he's definitely one of the best scorers ever, and I can never downplay that. I can never disrespect that. But in terms of being that guy, nah, in the same room as Kobe and Shaq, he's not in the same room with Kobe, Shaq, and Magic. Maybe the next one out. So I think it's crucial for us to identify that. But I was watching Steph play against the Kings, and I watched this thing on Apple TV. I know I'm late to the game about something about underrated, something about Steph Curry. I can't. And the reason I'm gonna be fully transparent. The reason why I didn't rate him as high is because the whole him being back-to-back MVPs when LeBron was at probably his best, and him being unanimous while LeBron was still in the lead. That's hella disrespectful to LeBron, to me. So I held grudges towards that. And I think just the rivalry. I think the Warriors Cavs rivalry with that era with LeBron and KD and Draymond was one of the top 5 rivalries of the NBA. I think number one rivalry is Lakers versus Celtics. That's obvious. Number 2, Bulls Pistons. Number 2 is Bulls Pistons. I was gonna say Knicks Bulls, but Knicks had to be at least a back and forth. The Knicks never beat the Bulls, so it meant nothing. Number 2 was Bulls Pistons. Number 3, Cavs Warriors. If we're doing a 30 for 30 on NBA rivalries, I think that was number 3. And number 4, Pacers Knicks. Because again, there's some back and forth. There's you win, I win. There's this and that. And I think that to me was crucial. And number 5 were Magic's Lakers versus Isaiah's Pistons. Those 5 one of the best rivalries in the league of all time. I think that season it was just like Bloods and Crips. Got to pick sides. So I couldn't support KD. I couldn't support Steph because of that. But now I think it's died down. I'm more able to say this guy's good. He's not good. He's great. And for those of y'all that want to put Jokic and KD and Dwayne Wade and James Harden in his tier is hell disrespectful. Because if Steph lasts long enough, because this is year 14, if he lasts long enough, get a couple more titles, get one or two Western Conference Finals MVPs, he might slowly creep towards tier 1. Because don't forget, he changed the game. He has changed the game. So tell me what you think, man. I want you to tweet me. I want you to at me, text me. Let me know what you think are the best rivalries. Is Steph tier 2, tier 1? What do you guys think about that? But either way, Knicks fans, it's time for us to become real and honest with ourselves as to what our team is and how far we are from winning a chip. Thank you for listening, man. Thank you for support. Don't forget to share this with your friends in your group chat. God bless you guys. I love y'all, man. Peace.